World Vision, Osho, Five Dimensions of Education. Osho's vision of education is five dimensional. The first dimension is informative, like languages, history, geography, and many other subjects which can be dealt with television and computers. The second dimension is the sciences, which can be imparted again by television and computers with the guidance of a human guide. Love, laughter, and acquaintance with life, its wonders, its mysteries, and a reverence for life is the third dimension of Osho's vision. The fourth dimension is art and creativity, where the student can choose from the whole rainbow of creative art and become a part of existence. The fifth dimension of Osho's vision of education is art of dying, which includes all meditations so that the child can become aware of the eternal life within him. Read on as Osho explains. Manisha, the education that has prevailed in the past is very insufficient, incomplete, superficial. It only creates people who can earn their livelihood, but it does not give any insight into living itself. It is not only incomplete, it is harmful too, because it is based on competition. Any type of competition is violent deep down and creates people who are unloving. Their whole effort is to be the achievers of name, of fame, of all kind of ambitions. Obviously, they have to struggle and be in conflict for them. That destroys their joys and that destroys their friendliness. It seems everybody is fighting against the world. Education up to now has been goal oriented. What you are learning is not important. What is important is the examination. That will come a year or 2 years later. It makes the future important, more important than the present. It sacrifices the present for the future, and that becomes your very style of life. You are always sacrificing the moment for something which is not present. It creates a tremendous emptiness in life. The commune of my vision will have five dimensions, five dimensional education. Before I enter into those five dimensions, a few things have to be noted. 1. There should not be any kind of examination as part of education, but every day, every hour, observation by the teachers, their remarks throughout the years will decide whether you move further or you remain a little longer in the same class. Nobody fails, nobody passes. It is just that a few people are speedy and a few people are a little bit lazy, because the idea of failure creates a deep bond of inferiority, and the idea of being successful also creates a different kind of disease, that is superiority. Nobody is inferior and nobody is superior. One is just oneself, incomparable. So, examination will not have any place. That will change the whole perspective from the future to the present. What you are doing right this moment will be decisive. Not five questions at the end of the 2 years. Of thousands of things will pass through during these 2 years. Each will decisive. So, the education will not be goal oriented. The teacher has been of immense importance in the past because he knew he had passed all the examinations. He had accumulated knowledge, but the situation has changed. And this is one of the problems. That situation changed, but our responses remain the old ones. Now, the knowledge explosion is so vast, so tremendous, so speedy that you can't write a big book on a scientific subject because by the time your book is complete, it will be out of date. New facts, new discoveries will have made it irrelevant. So now science has to depend on articles, on periodicals, not on books. The teachers was educated 30 years earlier. In 30 years, everything has changed. And he goes on repeating what he was taught. He is out of date and he is making his student out of date. So, in my vision of teacher has no place. Instead of teachers, there will be guides, and the difference has to be understood. The guide will tell you where in the library to find the latest information on the subject. And teaching should not be done in the old fashioned way because television can do it in far better way, can bring the latest information without any problem. The teacher has to appeal to ears to your ears. Television appeals directly to your eyes and the impact is far greater because the eyes absorbs 80% of your life situations. They are the most alive part. If you can see something, there is no need to memorize it. But you, if listen to something, you have to memorize it. Almost 98% of education can be delivered through television, and the question that student will ask can be answered by computers. The teacher should be only a guide to show you the right channel, to show you how to use the computer, how to find the latest book. His function will be totally different. He is not imparting knowledge to you. He is making you aware of the contemporary knowledge, of the latest knowledge. He is only a guide. With these considerations, I divided education in five dimensions. The first is informative, like history, geography, and many other subjects which can be dealt with by television and computer together. The second part should be sciences, which can be imparted by television or computer too. But they are more complicated and the human guide will be more necessary. In the first dimension also come languages. Every person in the world should know at least two languages. One is his mother tongue and the other is English as an international vehicle for communication. They can also be taught more accurately by television. The accent, the grammar, everything can be taught more correctly than by human beings. We can create in the world an atmosphere of brotherhood. Language connects people and language disconnects too. There is right now no international language. This is due to our prejudices. English is perfectly capable because it is known by more people around the world on the wider scale. Although it is not the first language, the first is Spanish as far as population is concerned, but its population is concentrated. It is not spread all over the world. The second is Chinese, that is even more concentrated, only in China. As far as numbers goes, these languages are spoken by more people. But the question is not of numbers, the question is of spread. English is the most widespread language, and people should drop their prejudices. They should look at the reality. There have been many efforts to create language to avoid the prejudices. The Spanish people can say their language should be the international language because it is spoken by more and more people than almost any other language. To avoid these prejudices, language like Esperanto has been created, but no created language has been able to function. There are a few things which grow, which cannot be created. A language is growth of thousands of years. Esperanto looks so artificial that all those efforts have failed. But it is absolutely necessary to create two languages. First, the mother tongue, because there are feelings and nuances which you can say only in mother tongue. One of my professors, S.K. Saxena, a world traveler who has been a professor of philosophy in many countries, used to say that in a foreign language you can do everything, but when it comes to a fight or to love, you feel that you are not being true and sincere to your feelings. So, for your feelings and for your sincerity, your mother tongue, which you imbibe with the milk of the mother, which become part of your blood and bones and marrow. But that is not enough. That creates a small group of people and makes others strangers. One international language is absolutely necessary as a basis for one world, for one humanity. So, two languages should be absolutely necessary for everybody. That will come in the first dimension. The second dimension is inquiry of scientific subjects, which is tremendously important because it is half of reality, the outside reality. And the third will be what is missing in present day education. The art of living. People have taken it for granted that they know what love is. They don't know, and by the time they know, it is too late. Every child should be helped to transform his anger, hatred, jealousy into love. An important part of the third dimension should also be a sense of humor. Our so called education makes people sad and serious. And if one third of your life is wasted in the university in being sad and serious, it becomes ingrained. You forget the language of laughter. And the man who forgets the language of laughter has forgotten much of life. So, love, laughter, and an acquaintance with life and its wonders, its mysteries. These birds singing in the trees should not go unheard. The trees and the flowers and the stars should have a connection with your heart. The sunrise and sunset will not be just outside things. They should be something inner too. A reverence for life should be the foundation of the third dimension. People are so irrelevant to life. They go on killing animals to eat. They call it game. And if the animal eats them, then they call it calamity. Strange. In the game, both parties should be given equal opportunity. The animals are without weapons, and you have machine guns or arrows. You may not have thought about why arrows and machine guns were invented, so that you can kill the animal from a far away distance. To come close is dangerous. What kind of game is this? And the poor animal defenseless against your bullets. It is not a question of killing the animals, it is a question of being irrelevant to life because all that you need can be provided either by synthetic foods or by other scientific methods. All your needs can be fulfilled. No animal has to be killed. And a person who kills animals deep down can kill human being without any difficulty. Because what is the difference? And there are cannibals. Just a few days ago in Palestine, the people demanded that the government allow them to eat human flesh because there was not enough food. So why waste a dead body? Whether it has died naturally or has been destroyed by the terrorist or has been an accident, it is good food. And the surprising thing is that the government of Palestine has agreed. They had to. Food is short and people cannot be left hungry. Today, they will be eating the naturally dead or the accidentally dead or those killed by the terrorists. But this is not going on forever. Soon they will start finding ways to kill people, to steal children, because their flesh is thought to be the most delicious. A great reverence for life should be taught because life is God and there is no other God than life itself. And joy, laughter, a sense of humor, in short, a dancing spirit. The fourth dimension should be of art and creativity, painting, music, craftsmanship, pottery, masonry, anything that is creative. All areas of creativity should be allowed. The students can choose. There should be only a few things compulsory. For example, an international language should be compulsory. A certain capacity to earn your livelihood should be compulsory. A certain creative art should be compulsory. You can choose through the whole rainbow of creative arts because unless a man learns how to create, he never becomes a part of existence, which is constantly creative. By being creative, one becomes divine. Creativity is the only prayer. And the fifth dimension should be the art of dying. In this fifth dimension will be all meditation, so that you can know there is no death, so that you can become aware of an eternal life inside you. This should be absolutely essential because everybody has to die, nobody can avoid it. And under the big umbrella of meditation, you can be introduced to Zen, to Tao, to yoga, to Hasidism, to all kinds and all possibilities that have existed, but which education has not taken any care of. In this fifth dimension, you should also be made aware of the martial arts like Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, the art of self-defense without weapons, and not only self-defense but simultaneously a meditation too. The new commune will have a full education, a whole education. All that is essential should be compulsory, and all that is non essential should be optional. One can choose from the options, which will be many. And once the basics are fulfilled, then you have to learn something. You enjoy music, dance, painting. You have to know something to go inwards, to know yourself. And all this can be done very easily without any difficulty. I have been a professor myself and I resigned from the university with a note saying, "This is not education, this is sheer stupidity. You are not teaching anything significant." But this insignificant education prevails all over the world. It makes no difference in the Soviet Union or in America. Nobody has looked for a more whole, a total education. In this sense, almost everybody is uneducated. Even those who have great degrees are uneducated in the vaster area of life. A few are more uneducated, a few are less, but everybody is uneducated. But to find an educated man is impossible because education as a whole does not exist anywhere. Golden Future, Chapter 23.